I guess it's not a traditional thing to do to add lemony pesto to a mac and cheese, but we are rule breakers here at the Test Kitchen.
Rule breakers. Hi, I'm Yotam.
And I'm Noor.
And we're cooking a kind of Middle Eastern take on a mac and cheese or a macaroni cheese. And it's got
Za'atar pesto,
feta,
fried onions,
it's got coriander,
cumin.
it's got cumin, and it's like creamy and absolutely delicious.
Don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up to date with all the recipes that we are coming your way.
You can subscribe on the Food52 network or on the OTK channel on YouTube. You know, I sliced some onion for you.
Thank you so much. I'm just gonna dust my onion with a bit of corn flour. You can use regular flour if you want to, or rice flour.
You ready?
Well, I'm gonna just test that my oil is hot enough, and I'm just gonna put and it sizzled right away, so my oil is hot.
It's cool. And why do we fry onion for this mac and cheese? Because mac and cheese doesn't come with fried onion, does it?
I know, it doesn't, but it should. We do it because it's a Middle Eastern take on mac and cheese, and we love to have fried onions on a lot of things. It also gives a bit of texture. This is a stovetop mac and cheese. It's not a baked mac and cheese, so it doesn't have that crust.
And what makes it even more fun is that it's all made in one pot, right? Shall we put everything in?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we use this pasta, which is called cavatappi.
Cavatappi. Anything twisty would work really well.
And we get some milk.
Yep.
Ooh, what did I do there?
You spilled it. It's fine.
You want butter?
Bit of butter. We've also got some water. And I kind of cheat a little bit and I add a bit of turmeric. Just like a tiny amount. It just adds a bit of color. I'm gonna go with about like 1/8 of a teaspoon. And obviously, lastly, we have to season it with just a bit of salt and some pepper.
Ta-da!
Thank you.
And you want to give your onion quite a bit of time to do that kind of deep frying. So this is really good. So it kind of just fries slowly and it will start getting the color. If it happens too quickly, it won't get that deep sweetness that it gets when it spends more time in the oil. So that kind of light bubbling is what we want.
You want it to kind of soften in the middle and then be all light and crunchy on the outside. So I've put everything into the pan, and I've put the pan on a medium-high heat. And I'm gonna let it come up to a simmer. Once it simmers, I'll turn it down to a medium and I'll let it cook gently, stirring every now and then for about 10 to 15 minutes until the pasta is nice and al dente.
It's really cool because you take dried pasta, and some people would not even know about that you could actually do that. And you don't need to cook it separately. It cooks with all the liquids, and it's kind of just absorbs them really nicely.
The reason being that, pasta is super starchy, so as it cooks, it releases the starch and it turns into a really self-made sauce. Whereas, you could go the other route where you do a roux, a bechamel style, but we kind of like shortcuts here at Test Kitchen.
So I'm going to make the third and last element, and that's the Za'atar pesto. So we've got some Za'atar here, and it's done in a food processor. I'm going to get all my ingredients ready in the food processor. Some pine nuts, and some oil. I'm not using all the oil, just about half the oil. Garlic clove, I've got 2 small ones here that I'm just gonna crush straight in there. That adds a really nice herbaceous, really rich addition to the mac and cheese.
Should we talk a little bit about Za'atar and different
types? The word Za'atar has actually 2 meanings. So in Palestinian culture, Za'atar is a herb and has a bit of the aromas or flavors of oregano or thyme, those kind of really earthy dried herbs. But Palestinians also call it Za'atar when the spice, when the herbs are dried, and they have some sesame seeds added to them and some dried sumac and a bit of salt, and then that's this powder. So za'atar is both the herb and the powder that we use here now.
So my onions are ready. They're nice and crispy and brown, and I'd say they took about like 5 to 7 minutes. Really depends on the temperature of your oil. And you'll tell me you're gonna salt them.
I'm just standing there ready to salt the onions.
Ready to salt them. And you can just leave them for a while. They might not be completely crispy, but if you just let them kind of settle for room temperature, once they cool, they're gonna crisp up and be really yummy, crunchy goodness.
And they smell so nice.
They're very addictive. Like every time we make them at the test kitchen, like whoever makes it, we have to hide the crispy onions because like everyone will pass by and then like try it.
And then you burn yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna prepare the lemon for the za'atar pesto. So I've got za'atar, garlic, pine nuts, and olive oil there in the food processor.
I always find it odd that you use zest that way. I always zest the other way.
I prefer that it just all
No, I
collects
like
really
your way. It's
nicely
very
like
nice.
that.
Maybe it is that way, and that's a life hack that I just didn't know.
You always need a life hack. The lemon is nice and zested, and then I'm just gonna top and tail it and peel it. It looks a little bit chefy, but it really isn't. You just want to kind of just take a sharp knife and you just get all this off, and then you're ready. So we're using everything in the lemon, which is kind of like our mantra, isn't it? We don't waste anything in a lemon, or we try not to.
I've heard you like lemons.
Did you? I thought it was a secret. So I'm just gonna get those lemon segments out.
You obviously have no fear of a large knife and a small lemon.
Would you use a smaller?
I would use a small, sharp knife.
And we're just gonna squeeze that lemon in here, so you get a bit of juice, and roughly chop. And all this lovely juice and segments, that all goes in here.
Yeah, the cool thing about the lemon segments is that whenever you eat the pesto, you get like this sharp piece of lemon, which is really nice.
Which is really nice. So in my food processor, I've got the za'atar, the pine nuts, olive oil, and garlic, and I'm gonna add some coriander as well, or cilantro.
What about people who don't like coriander?
They don't have to put the cilantro here. They could put parsley, right?
I guess they could.
So,
But what if, oh my God, I didn't have a food processor?
Oh my God, I didn't have a food processor.
I guess you can
You
do
can
it by
do
hand.
all this by hand.
Right?
Yeah. You don't need a food processor. You could just chop up everything fine.
Or
It's
a
still gonna be
pestle and
lovely.
mortar?
Pestle and mortar. The
That would
old
work.
school.
Old school.
Everything here is still very textural. I didn't process it completely.
Smells so herbaceous.
You can smell everything, right? It's
Really
so
smell
nice.
the za'atar.
And we've got a bit more oil. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It looks good. You made this before? You've done this before?
Oh, look at that. So the pasta is cooked, bubbling away very gently.
Very gentle bubble.
And let's talk about the cheese, because we're going to have lots of cheese coming through. So we chose cheddar and feta, which is really nice because the cheddar would bring that kind of rich velvetiness, right?
Yeah, I almost feel like, can you have a mac and cheese without cheddar? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those, it's like the, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, we've broken so many rules, but there's some rules I feel like maybe I shouldn't.
I think
I shouldn't break.
there's lots of substitutes we can use here, right?
Definitely. Like, if you're not a feta fan,
Who's not a feta fan?
no, get
There's
out.
nobody.
you can use another different sharp cheese.
Yeah, you can use pecorino.
Or goat's cheese even,
Or goat's
if you're
cheese.
into that.
Do you think it's ready, Noah?
I think it's ready, but do you want to just try it
Yeah,
just
you
in
go,
case?
go.
Because
You-
I
you
can
try.
tell from all the swirlies, they're kind of all like,
All the swirlies.
yeah, they just look more fun. They're even more fun size now.
Yeah, it's al dente.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, I had this thought that if you don't want to use milk and you just want to use stock, like vegetable stock,
Like
or
if you're
chicken stock,
vegan or you can't
like
have
if you're
milk.
vegan, or you can't have milk, then you can use stock and cook it slowly, like a risotto, and then add all your dairy-free flavorsome things that you want to add at the end. Shall we finish?
Yes, so it looks really liquidy at this point, but that's totally okay. I'm gonna turn the heat down to like medium-low. And do you want to add all our things?
Should we add all this? So we've got
All the
feta,
things.
everything in, some grated cheddar, lots of that, cumin.
Yeah, just chuck it all in.
So the cumin's been toasted and like crushed a bit, and all this crushed garlic as well. It's just so nice to have that fresh garlic flavor there. But if you don't like raw garlic, it's fine with that, right?
Yeah, and you can also add it at the beginning as well if you want it to kind of cook down a bit more.
That's right. And cream at the very end.
Yes, cream at the very end, just a little. That kind of like thickens it, making
It
it
looks
rich.
so beautiful, Nora.
And the thing is, it like thickens up like
Yeah,
as it sits.
totally.
So right now you're like, oh, it looks really quite loose. But
Yeah.
as soon as you take it off the heat and it all kind of like melts together,
All the
it does
cheese
kind of like
starts to
drink
set.
it all in.
Oh, this looks and smells so wonderful.
I know, it's
Magical. Really, really magical. The other thing that's really nice is that the feta, the cheddar melts, but the feta stays in nice chunks. So you get these kind of salty surprises when you eat. So it's not like this kind of uniform experience. You get bits of feta. Lovely. So now the Holy Trinity is coming together.
It is. And
Onion, macaroni, cheese, and Za'atar pesto.
it's so great. And I'm just gonna pour it right into there.
I'm going to be in charge of the Za'atar pesto and you in charge of the... That looks good. Right? Okay, it's your turn. It's the onion.
All right. So they kind of like stick and clump together when they fry. So you can just kind of get your fingers in there and just like break them up. If you
They're
want.
so crispy. I can hear the crispy.
And that's it. There we
Lord.
have Middle Eastern take on a mac and cheese with feta and cumin and a Za'atar pesto.
So we can leave it here or we can eat it. What do you think?
I mean, it's a shame to waste.
It's a shame
isn't
to
it?
waste.
All right.
You get the blue bowl,
Okay.
or I'll get the blue bowl. No, this looks so good.
So you can really smell the lemon and like Za'atar. and
Yeah,
stuff
the
in there.
lemon, and it's
crazy.
just so nice. And who would have thought a mac and cheese with lemon smell? I mean, it's just like insane.
Don't knock it till you try it, guys. All right,
All right.
let's dig in.
I love how that Za'atar never stops surprising me because I've always loved Za'atar, but now in this kind of really, really dairy heavy
Yeah.
context, it's still really nice.
It's totally like East meets West.
Yeah, it's so true. It's really, really magical.
Thank you so much for watching. This is our Middle Eastern take on a mac and cheese with Za'atar pesto and crispy fried onions and feta and cumin. Make sure you like and subscribe onto the Food52 channel and our OTK channel as well, so that you don't miss all our other videos.
Come back and see us with more delicious episodes.
Is that it? Are we done?
What did you say?
I said, are we done?